All right. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening for whoever is watching this video, maybe in a different time zone. But yes, today we are going to be talking about courage. Yes, that's something that I definitely would like to talk about. Of course, I am listening to music, so we are going to jam out for a couple seconds, and I don't own the right to the music, okay? Yeah, so today I wanted to talk about courage because courage is one of the things that we really, I would say we really don't develop. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, how should I put this? We step out on things, and we when we step out on things, sometimes we lack the faith, and that's because the courage is also not there either. You know what I'm saying? So, and when the faith is not there, the courage is not there. When the courage is not there, the faith is not there. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that makes sense. So, yes, that's why I wanted to talk about courage. So, what is courage and spirituality? So, courage and spirituality, is spirituality requires you to have courage because your higher self always wants more than what your current self think you can handle. So, courage. So, like I said, your higher self always wants you to do more. Like I said in my last video, it fears, urgings, them urges to do more, and you feel like you're inadequate to do it, or not prepared or unqualified, or whatever the case may. However you want to say, you're not prepared to do it. Now, with spirituality, it's more so you're going to be stepping into a lot of things that you feel like you're unqualified for. But if you have the faith and you have the belief and you have the courage, you will be surprised on what your outcome will be. I'm going to just put it just like that. And with the openness, I did a video of openness because openness, faith, belief, and courage, those is like, listen, that's another recipe for success. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you have to believe in yourself. And in order for you to believe in yourself, you have to develop courage. So that means that you have to constantly step out of your comfort zone in order for you to build courage. You just don't develop courage, okay? And that goes back to my spiritual prayer. Ooh, yes, for anybody who is watching this, I recommend that you watch spiritual prayer, and I hope that you get an epiphany from it, because that was like a hard truth for me. In the beginning of my journey, in the process of understanding a lot, okay? And once I understood it, everything made sense. So I do recommend that you guys watch spiritual prayer. That is a beautiful video and very, very informative video in regards of what you're praying for. So, but yes, it requires you to have belief, and it requires you to step out of your comfort zone to develop courage. Okay, so you have to constantly challenge yourself in order for you to develop courage. Like I said, you're not born, well, you're born with courage, but you're not automatically equipped with the courage that you need to be successful. You have to develop that, just like you have to develop anything else. Okay, so yes, that's how courage is, in relations with spirituality, because spirituality will have you do a lot of things that requires you to have courage, and it's out of the normal. It's out of the person who you are right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's helping you to develop and become your most highest self. So yes, example: your major goal You have a major goal, but lacking the courage because the ideal preparation. Okay, so courage is pretty much, like I said, it allows you to do more than what you think that you can do, if that makes sense. Like, listen, if you somebody that has courage and somebody that has skills, the person with courage will always win. Because if you have skills but you lack the courage, you're not going to pressure yourself. Somebody with courage, they're going to step out regardless if they know or they trust the uncertainty more than anything because they have courage. So it's always good to develop that courage. So, like I said, your major goal, and you lack the courage because you feel like you don't have the ideal preparation. No, step out on it. That's how you build the courage. You like I said, it's just not handed to you and like, oh, okay, you're successful. That didn't happen with anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? They had to fight themselves. They had to develop themselves. They had to develop that, that wit of them. Like, listen, I'm shooting for this. So it took a lot of courage. It took a lot of trials. It took a lot of uncomfortable, positions. Very uncomfortable positions. In this journey, fall in love with being uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, that means that you are truly developing yourself. If you are comfortable, that means that you are not challenging yourself. That means that you are not growing. So fall in love with being uncomfortable. And to be honest, once you start stepping out of your comfort zone, and I mean frequently, I mean as in daily, do something different. Do something different. Being open is and vulnerable. That's challenging yourself because you're doing something a little different. You're approaching life a little different. It don't have to physically be an action or activity or anything like that. It can be a change of perspective. It can be a change of how you handle things. That's challenging yourself. That is developing yourself. So fall in love with being uncomfortable. And once you fall in love with being uncomfortable, it will be comfortable. I'm telling you, it will be comfortable. You will be like, oh, okay, like, listen. And then you will start to develop new beliefs. That's how that works. You don't just acquire new beliefs. No. New beliefs come about when you start challenging yourself and then you start seeing different things. That's how new belief comes. That's how new perspective comes. That's how a new mindset comes. And that's how you ultimately rebirth yourself. And I only speak from experience. And it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. To be honest, I am like on my next step of rebirthing myself. So I already went through that first transition. So now I'm into the second transition. Okay, so yeah. It's stages. So, and courage is something that you need. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you chasing something, you have to develop courage. But how about you just apply your pressure? You apply that pressure. Step out on anything. Take your time. Be intentional. Be open. Trust. And most of all, believe. If you don't believe, it won't work. If you're not open, it won't work. And I say if you're not open, it won't work. It's because how are you going into something with the same mindset, or how are you going into something when you're not open to new perspectives or open to new experiences? You are going to get the same experience because you're not open. Every part of your journey requires you to have courage. It does. Every part of your journey requires you to have courage because once you embark on your spiritual journey, a lot of things is going to be shown to you. It is. And it's either you can shrink back down into who you were or continue to fight that fight. And that depends on who you are. You understand? And when I say who you are, I mean the qualities that you carry. Are you an ambitious or determined person? Are you someone that is, strong-minded? So that means once you start something, like, you're bulldozing through it, regardless of what goes on, you're still going. So I'm gonna put it just like this: spirituality requires you to have courage throughout, because many things are going to be revealed to you, and you have to be accepting of it. And then you have to learn, open your mind, adjust, and become that person that you are looking to become. It's all about truth. Spirituality is all about truth. It's all about honesty. It's all about integrity. It's all about the spirit and your soul. So, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna hone in on it. When you look at things for the spirit and our soul, it's a different entity than a world. So if you was to approach somebody, you'd be like, oh, that person is nice, because you're basing off their action. Now, if you go into a deeper perspective into their spirit, into their soul, meaning that's in a way that they carry their self, or just see how they like radiate. And when I say like their glow, their presence, what do their presence bring? Because anybody can fake it. Anybody can be nice. Anybody can do anything. But energy don't lie. And that's why everybody say, oh, energy, energy, energy. No, let's be serious about energy, because energy is real. So when you're looking at somebody's soul, when you're looking at somebody's spirit, fill out their energy. That's how you can tell. When you feel like, oh, nah, then yeah. But when you're around somebody and you feel free, you feel secure, you feel, at peace, that energy, that spirit is a different spirit. Everybody carries a spirit. Everybody. So, yes. Let's see. Like I said, every part of your journey requires you to have courage. So, unlearning things mean acquiring new beliefs, and that's bold. It requires trust, belief, and vulnerability. So, that's what it is. So that's why your journey, it requires you to have courage, because like I said, a lot of things are going to be revealed to you, and it's going some things are like tough to swallow. I don't know what your life is like. I don't know what you can handle. I don't know what you can handle, but I'm a truth person, and sometimes truth can be a harsh reality in regards of yourself, in regards to other people, or whatever the case may be. So that's why I say, in your spiritual journey, you must require courage. Because if you're someone, I'm gonna give you an example. If you're someone that likes to be around, a lot of people, and just really wasn't conscious in who you did surround yourself with, and now when you start your spiritual journey, you will be awakened. So you will start to be more conscious and see a lot of things in yourself that was wrong. See a lot of things, I won't say wrong, but that was unhealthy for you. You know what I'm saying? And then see a lot of things that you surrounded yourself with that was unhealthy, and that played a part in the person that you were, but now that you are trying to release. So, yeah. So, and it requires you to be bold, because now you're taking on a new belief that you're not really certain in. And I say not really certain in because you know that, okay, the person had the perspective that you were in has been now voided. Meaning as in, okay, I know this life that I was living it wasn't me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I did a lot of behaviors, a lot of things that's not truly me, not truly healthy, not truly, I'm gonna say righteous. Like, there's nothing wrong with being righteous. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you want to hold yourself to your highest point? Why would you want to, go out and be manipulative or be, petty or be, passive aggressive and all them negative things? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not really you. Those are like conditioned response and conditioned behaviors because what people do to you and you wasn't able to control your emotions. You understand what I'm saying? You was in a survival state. So everything that somebody did to you, you felt like you had to retaliate. That's not you. That's not none of us. It's not. We are actually was placed here with a purpose, and we have to find that purpose. So when you start your spiritual journey, a lot will be revealed to you and your purpose. Hopefully, if you are given that, that dedication to yourself, you will find your purpose. You will find your purpose. So, yes, you have to be courageous. You have to be bold. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're releasing an old belief. You're releasing an old perspective. And now you're taking on a new belief, a new perspective, a new found you. New found you where you actually believe in yourself. A new found you that you're not really triggered because you believe in yourself. A new found you because now you trust yourself. A new found you because now you are more fearless. You're okay with moving by yourself now. You trust yourself now. So yes. How to maintain courage during your journey. Consistency with expanding yourself and stepping out of your comfort zone as much as possible. That's the only way that you can actually continue your courage. If you stop moving out of your comfort zone, you will lose the courage. That's just like starting something and expect to still get the reward. No. Don't get me wrong. Wherever you stop that's where your courage, your comfort zone has been expanded now. But if you want to become limitless, you have to keep on going, honey. You have to keep on going. I mean, penetrating that bubble. All right, cool. I'm going. I don't care what hits me. I'm going. I don't care. Blood, sweat, and tears. I'm going to keep on penetrating this bubble. That's how you become limitless. That's how you become courageous throughout your whole journey. And then ultimately rebirthing yourself. Like, nothing can stop you now. Now you have a whole new perspective. You have a perspective of limitless possibilities. You have a perspective of, okay, now I know who I am. I know who I am now. And now, who you are is a completely different person than who you were. So that means everything has elevated. Meaning that saying you won't condone the same things that you used to. You won't surround yourself in the same things that you used to. You won't do the things that you used to do. You won't dress the way that you used to do. You won't think the way that you used to do. You won't have a perception of the way that you used to do. You have more compassion too. Because you know the journey was tough. You know that, okay, what you had to go through, it required you to break yourself down and rebuild yourself. So you know what it's like. You will have a humility type of attitude. It's time. Switch up your, okay, so like I said, how to maintain your courage. So you got to switch up your whole way of being. That's it. Switch up your whole way of being, including your daily things. If you, like I said, it takes hard work to change. It does. I am speaking from experience. It's been hard. It's been hard, but it's worth it. Don't get me wrong. It's worth it. It's worth it. Do you want to stay stuck in a position where you're constantly, whatever you know that is wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Constantly, some people are a people pleaser. That means that they overly give. There's nothing wrong with overly give, but that means that you lack boundaries, though. That's what that means. That means that you're not really taking care of yourself, though. So that means that when you are working on yourself, you have to start implementing boundaries. And it's hard because that means that you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to hold other people accountable to respect it in order to build it. It's hard. But I believe in you. I believed in myself. And it takes hard work to believe in yourself too, especially if you're in a place where, you never had that support to help you really internally, like that wholeheartedly empowerment belief. Like, there's no way to describe the feeling that you will reap if you put that hard work in. There's no way to describe it. I will say it's the most beautiful, empowering thing, should I say. And if you don't know what empowering feel, it's a feeling out this world, especially if you never felt it before, because you validate yourself. Nobody else validated validated you. You validated yourself. That means that you stop depending on other people's opinion. You stop believing in other people's support. Not that, it's not helpful, but you started ultimately believing in yourself and started working from the inner to the outer. A lot of us work from the outer to the inner, meaning as in everything that's happening around us, we perceive it and take it in, and this is the value. No. Inner to the outer. And once you start working on that inner, it will radiate to the outer. And that is guaranteed. Guaranteed. Courage means trusting yourself and the higher power, no matter what. Period. So courage means that you trust yourself. Oh, even if this journey is very, how should I put this? It's very... It has its ups and its downs. I'm going to put it just like that. Like, you will, but it's all about staying consistent and trusting yourself. That's what it's all about. Okay. So the courage is you really want to start just trusting yourself, and I spoke about that in a couple last videos or whatever, where a lot of us in my intuition video, and I do recommend to watch that too. A lot of us surround ourselves with other people because we really don't trust ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's deep. I hope that you can, I hope that you can open your mind and, shift through whatever you need to shift to really realize that if you're somebody that really likes to always be around somebody, like, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was one of the ones where I really didn't trust myself. I would always call up somebody like, yo, what you think? Until I got to a point where, when I start my journey, I'm like, okay, I need to start trusting myself. Although I moved by myself, I needed to start trusting myself in all my decisions and really, hone in on it. Good or bad, that was my decision. You know what I'm saying? So start trusting yourself. Encourage, you have to trust yourself. So your faith has to be strong and consistent. Okay? So, and I'm going to give you an example how strong and consistent it need to be. Like your paycheck. You know how you get a paycheck every 2 weeks or every week? You know that you're getting it. You have that undoubting faith that you're going to get your check. That's how your faith need to be in yourself and your higher power. You need to have that undoubting faith that no matter what is going on around you, everything is going to be okay. And you can handle it. That's how your faith needs to be. It needs to be undoubting. And once it's undoubting, that's when you can see your power. You have to get to a point where it's undoubting. And it's hard because that means that you are completely trusting in something that is not visibly there. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's a process because I had to work to get there, and I was at a point that I had to be there. I had to have undoubting faith, and when I started having undoubting faith, that's when my intuition started kicking in. And when I say everything was accurate, it was accurate. It was accurate. Accurate. I won't even get into that because that's personal, but it was accurate. So get to a point of undoubting faith where you trust your higher power and you trust yourself. Open up your mind. Once you open up your mind, you have to open up your mind in order for anything to happen. If you believe in higher power, you should, I'm not going to say you should, but I hope that you are believing in higher power if you're watching this video. If not, I hope this video is kind of like, guiding you into that direction. Get to a point of that. And if you believe, that means that you believe anything can happen. Your mind has to be open for it to happen. You can't say that you believe and then you're doubting, and then you wonder why this miracle is not happening, or this dream, or this whatever you are seeking is not happening. The energy is intercepted, because how are you believing and then you're doubting at the same time? It doesn't work. Until next week, courage.